Good morning to all traders and welcome to another Market Waves, Tuesday the 12th. And as always, another interesting session, a few interesting pairs to have a quick look. Some of them remain a bit boring, to be honest, like euro dollar, for example. But let's revisit it. Some others show potential for a move to the upside or downside, and some others have already made the move. So starting off with the euro dollar, nothing changed since last time pretty much, guys. We are still correcting here, and most likely what I look like, at least at the moment, sort of leaning towards, is this becoming some sort of ending diagonal. Okay, something like that. But then we have to wait and see how this is going to play out, because ending diagonals, the corrections can only be zigzags, right? So actually all the waves have to be zigzags, which makes one think, well, if we are gonna go higher and break above the 115.87, that is very likely to be invalid. Now on a different note, that looks like 1 2 1 2. So if we don't continue lower now to get the 3, the 4, and the 5 over here for C, then potentially something like that, then again the likelihood of this being invalid is going to increase. So for that reason, what if our wave 3 was here and we are currently going to get our wave 4, and internally we've got something like this? Yeah, maybe even something like this, ABC, more clear 5 wave over here, running flat or flat. Yeah, running flat. 1 2 3 4 5. That is something that is very likely, and this is where I'm gonna leave euro dollar for now. Okay, because this structure might be giving us early signals, let's say, that an ending diagonal, it's, first of all, probabilities are reduced, but might be unlikely. So that's on the euro dollar. Dollar yen now continues to move higher. Okay, I'm not going to say to our surprise. It is a bit surprising, but we've got good volumes over here, right? It is a bit surprising because the volumes that we've got don't really resemble a wave 3. That does, okay? And if we're supposedly adding wave 3 of 3, we should have seen something more here, right? So I will be really looking at volumes quite cautiously here. Until then, though, until we get something that is going to invalidate or validate anything else, next level up I'm looking is 113.77. And looks like, turns out, that is indeed 1 2 3, probably 4, and then we're going to get the fifth one for 113.77. Yeah, the 100 Fibonacci is 1 or 2 is very likely to be wave 3 of this, and then we'll get 4, and then we may get 5 up for minor 3 up to around 115. Okay, up 1560, sorry, not even 115. Now, can this be a complete different structure due to this weakness? Not the weakness, like non-confirming volumes. Yes, of course it could. We've got 1 and 2 over here, right? In the longer term. Well, that can be A, B, and C. That can be A, B, and C as well, can it not? And then we can continue down in 5 waves to get some sort of flat over here, right? So now, that said, let's look where that takes us. It takes us to 115.15. Okay, supposedly an irregular flat here, right? That's what I'm saying, because we already crossed higher than 105 of the previous leg. So in case we move up, we need to pay close attention to the 115.15, okay? Because the chances of that becoming a flat pattern are going to be much higher once we get there and we stop and reverse, especially when we also look at the volumes in this particular wave 3 here that don't really seem to be to be really part of an impulse. You see though, these volumes over here are not looking much better, and it was indeed an impulse 3, right? Something similar here. Well, history is always a good indication, right? Or a good indicator, but we are going to have to wait and see what the patterns are. History is good, as I said before, but this is how we can make our projections. But price action is more important. Right. We talked about this quite a few times. Perhaps an ending diagonal is building up here because we've got 5 waves up here. Okay, look at this. Might be 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh? Look at this. And the diagonals usually retrace between 62 and 80 something percent. We've done the 61 here in the first leg, so we're good. And the second leg we haven't, obviously. But what I'm saying is this, guys. If we start seeing prices moving lower and we get to around the 77 and we stop, it's very likely to be an ending diagonal. Okay, and it's going to be the open variation. We don't mind, it's just as long as it's there. Otherwise, well, well, someone might have A and B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we start correctly lower down from now. I don't see that way. It's hard to put A up here because it doesn't make much sense. It will be even more of a case to put A here and B, yeah, and then do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for C, and that B and X, but W and X, but they will be very, very shallow. W, X, and Y's are not there for that. So I would be looking more of a case where this is an ABC, W, X, Y, X, Z, triple zigzag in B. That is more likely. Since we're here though now, what we can do is always use the channel. And actually, since we are going to do that, let's do the base channel first, which I think is a bit far from where we are now, but with A in. Okay, there we go. So you can understand that as long as we're above that trend line, we remain bullish, right? Now in the shorter term though, perhaps we can look for prices to go towards 80, yeah, see what's going to happen there. Are we going to get this resistance becoming a support? If yes, then that is going to lead to more upside. If not, most likely to start sliding towards the 76 level. Okay. Now on gold has been boring as well, like the euro has, but gold is preparing for a breakout. Look at the volumes, okay, and look at the price action over here. It looks like to me, by the way, that this is just a W, X, and Y, or something with X wave higher than W's start. That's why I've placed wave 2 here, but I do expect another leg down. It doesn't look like the downside is done over here because of this. It would look like done when maybe we're gonna get even down to that level. We need to see volumes increasing. We need to see big candles coming in, not big, but 3 hourly candles, at least green with increasing volumes for gold to start moving higher. Now, can it go lower instead? Yes, because great breakouts are not not, you cannot really say where the breakout is going to go. Most of the time, it's hard to predict. But in this case, I'm just looking at this increase in volumes over here, guys. You see, we've seen something similar, but it was up closer to the top, if that makes over here. This one we've seen in wave 3 and higher up. So that's why I'm looking at this as a wave 1 and that as a wave 2. So I do believe I'm going to get the third up. If not, and we'll break lower down, that most likely my wave 2 is going to be lower down. Yeah, at least for the short term, this is what the preferred count is. S&P has moved. I mean, last time we looked at it, we've done that, okay, and I was looking for a potential move to the upside again. Why? Because I had this, if you remember, I was looking for an ABC 1 2 3 4 5 and put X over here, which would make more sense, but it didn't happen. Now, well, either this is the one, going to see continuation to 42.30, around 42.30 at least first, or my wave X is still here. That's still an ABC. Sorry, W, X, and Y instead. And we're gonna get another ABC down here. Okay, so it is ABC versus 1 2 3 4 5 here. What I am saying, if we're in a flat, if we're in a flat, if P ended here, then we get the fifth one. If X is here, then we're gonna get 2 and 2, a 3, an ABC pretty much. Okay. Can it move higher? Yes. We're still not done with, this upside potential. It could be an ending diagonal here as part of the end of the flat, or it could just simply stay here. It might, this wave X might become a, over here, of course, might become some sort of, maybe that would be A, B, and C. Who knows? It might turn into a W, X, and Y. It might turn into a triangle. We do not know. It's a correction. And on a different note as well, don't forget that not really beautiful, but this can be a leading diagonal as well. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 A, B, C, and then we get 1 2 3 4 5. That is going to be the worst case scenario for a move to the downside, because leading diagonals are followed by explosive moves in wave 3. Okay, unless if it is a wave C, then it's going to be a different case, but it's going to be definitely something more bearish to keep in mind. Okay, so guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, don't forget you can leave your comments on our YouTube section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Take care, trade safe, and we'll be here again tomorrow with another Markets in Waves.